Welcome, I'm Bill Wake. We're here working on an app to support dulcimer players with a set of tools, and the one we're focused on today is something I'm calling a jam log, which is basically keeping track of the songs that I've played in various jams. Here's an example from the one I do. I maintain it in Joplin, which is kind of a Evernote TM clone, kind of thing. Okay, and so the core bits on the right, I've got a list of every song that I've been playing, and I keep track of which dates we played it. So I'm a member of a weekly jam, and I occasionally play other times with this mentor of mine. And each time I record the date that the song was played. Sometimes there's a little information extra. So notice I'll Not Marry at All, kind of 2/3 down. It's mentioned CFC, so this is normally played in a DGD tuning, but for whatever reason that night we played it in CFC. So there are sometimes remarks at the level of the song, like the first one. It's traditional. It was from the fall 2023 retreat, and there are also remarks at the level of the date we're playing it at. Now, overall, I sort this. Well, I use this numeric version. 148 is like the relationships between the letters in the tuning. So DGD, 1 is D, 4 D, E, F, G, 4 is G, 8 is back around to D, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, music stuff. And it doesn't matter if you start on D or start on E, but E, A, E is the same notes, just raised up a step. So, in terms of playing, you would play it the same way. You just have your dulcimer tuned differently. And on the left, you can see, well, at least for the Don Petty ones, I've sorted them by that interval, and then in there is the tuning. And also sometimes, like most of the time, 147 tuning is Dorian, and 148 is major or Ionian. Actually, it also is Mixolydian, but 144 is Mixolydian. But each of these tunings, there's a number of songs. So I don't know, what is this? 3, 6, 9, 10, or 11 tunings that, no, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, so a number of tunings that we would use. Let's see, what else is on here? Well, there's a thing to notice right in the middle. I Want Jesus to Walk With Me. I've got the song, and I told where it, the source for it, but I don't have any dates recorded for it. And that definitely happens. So I've got to watch that we kind of organize things by the total songs. All right. So we started in yesterday. Let's see. If I only waited a minute longer. Oh, some ideas for adding songs? Okay. I mean, I definitely want that to be a quick process. So we barely started this story yesterday, and I put some sub-stories, or I guess they're stories, but sort by name. So I want to list out all the songs, and actually that's within tuning. Okay. I'd like to be able to do entry of these things, and ideally it's really quick entry. Okay. Pop-up modal form, any info the user might want to just add and cancel. Yeah, that would make sense. I think, I kind of think there's two modes on this story. One is around using that list. So if I'm sitting there trying to think of like, oh, what's a good song to play while we're in this tuning? I might go through this list and go like, okay, yeah. All right, let's play In the Good Old Colony Days, So it's kind of a reading process then. I also might do that sometimes just to kind of think about what I'm learning or what I'm not so hot on or whatever, I love my wife as well as anybody, but when my back is turned, she's hugging everybody. I've only played it twice. I definitely don't have it memorized. I haven't touched it in 2 years. So, I might look at that and say, oh, we haven't played that in a while. Let's play that. Okay. And then the other mode is, well, it's either in the jam or after. Let's see. Nope, lost it. We played last night, and during the jam, I kept up with a few of these to update them. I don't think there's any on this page, but I keep this Joplin open on this page while we're playing. And then other times I don't really have time for that, or it's just not convenient for whatever reason. I might write them on a file card and then go back in later and enter them. But in the entry mode, I really want it to be quick. I'd like to start typing a name. I type I love. I've only got one song that starts I love, at least in this tuning. I'd like to pop that up and suggest that right away. So, have it really do some autocomplete kind of stuff. Default the date to now, to today. And, kind of maybe I've got a tuning. If I enter a tuning, like default that for the next one, because usually we play in one tuning for a while. Last night we played all DGD. That's unusual for us. Often we kind of rotate through tunings. And so what you can see is, like, if you started in DAD and you tune one note down in the middle, you got DGD, and then you could easily get to DGG. Well, there's DGC somewhere. I don't know. Oh, there's one. Yeah, DGC. So again, tune one note, you can go up or down, and you can kind of rotate through a bunch of them. Okay, so yeah, selecting it and editing it, that definitely, I don't know if I let's make that explicit. Edit song names. And that definitely comes about because like, we'll learn a song, and then, the next time we play it, maybe he makes another remark about it, or someone else brings up something, So this song in the Good Old Colony days also is known as Three Jolly Rogues of Lynn. And, I definitely added that comment later, and then same thing from Revolutionary Times, Now, I don't know if that's quite true. It's hard to tell sometimes, but, add a yesterday button. Yeah, definitely. Because, like, if I go in next day with the file card, I'd like to be able to default that back. And yeah, I mean, I think there are a number of things like that if we can get them, if it's just type a few letters of the name and then bang, commit, if it's mostly right, and go from there. So I definitely want to pay attention to that side of things, because if it's not, I mean, if it's more than typing a few characters and doing stuff, it just becomes, too hard to do in real time. But I think it's a feasible. I think these kind of ideas to do quick buttons on them and stuff would be helpful. All right, so to start this thing, let's see, what did we do? We created a performance object, and this I've just given it the ID of a song, because our songs have IDs. So I'm almost thinking, I'm thinking kind of relationally, almost like relational database kind of style. This is kind of, I think of transactions in a database. It's like they relate one thing to another. I think the thing they're relating to is sort of implicit in this case, and the transaction information is, which song, which date, and the remarks that correspond to that date. That's all kind of metadata for this performance. I don't know. I'm not quite sure on the naming of these things. I did break up my handy thesaurus and try and find a good synonym for performance, and didn't walk away with anything better. But there may be a reason to keep the remarks separately. I think there were remarks on the song too, and that may be something we have to add. Okay. But I also think this sort of relates to the first line stuff, that I think we can overlap the songs. Any song that's in the first line stuff is probably a candidate for being in the jam log too, even if we haven't played it. It's one we could play, that's commonly known or something. All right. And then we started a jam log test. we should know the tunings used. So I'm going to sort these things by tuning like I did for the first lines. And I create some songs, I create some performances that we played those, and I don't care too much what the date is. And then I said, build the jam log with the library and the performances, and then tell me the tunings. And already I know this test is wrong because it's answering the tunings for the performances, but I think it should answer the tunings for everything. So let's go ahead and add in that last tuning. It's not working in any case, so it doesn't really hurt anything to do this. But I think we can get that going. And then I think I maybe stubbed this out after we left yesterday, but just the library performances and tunings, oh yeah. Let me go back momentarily to yesterday. All right, resources. I did change some stuff on these. I went to a simpler model for the tab. So rather than a bar line, it's a space. I'm not doing the eighth note pairs. And if you hold a note, I put a slash to say hold that note. Yeah, I think yeah, they might have to be in a separate map. Song ID might be the wrong thing, but I don't think I can. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not quite sure about it. Anyway, I simplified these, and that's why I made the stub so I could get it to a green quickly and test it that way. Okay, are we running? Did we finish? Okay, we failed. Good. Oh no, we're still running. Any changes? Yeah, so it's kind of a fact of life for us that different songs may appear in different tunings, and they're well, it depends on the song whether it's really, quote, the same song. There might be a song that's named one thing. It's two songs might share the same names, but in one tuning it's one way, and in another tuning it's a totally different melody. Or you might have one song that's in two tunings. And actually, there are a lot of, you can do that basically for almost anything, because as long as you have a tuning that's capable of playing the key the song is in, or the mode, I guess, really. So if it's major in DAD and it's major in DGD, you could play the song in either tuning. It's just there's kind of a long tradition about this is a D tune and this is an A tune, and if you're playing with other people, they will definitely they definitely expect things in certain tunings. Okay, so anyway, we have the tunings, and I think the answer is I don't have to look at performances at all, so I'm probably making too much of this, too much test there. But the songs know the tuning. Okay, so I think, yeah, let's make that true. And jam log. Okay. Jam log view. I'm trying to get down to the stuff we're really going to look at today. Jam log view, song. Okay, so in jam log, let's just really return library.tunings, and that should be an adequate answer. I think in some ways these tools are going to overlap a bit more than I expected. I don't think I can use the same view for this as for the first lines thing, but this feature that you can add a remark to a song that that would be reasonable in the other one too. Okay, what did I do? A, D, G, D, D, A, D. Oh, A comes before G, right? A, D, A, D, yeah, okay. These are in order. And let's take the tab version, I guess. This. Okay, so let's say jam log knows its tunings. Okay. All right. And I think we can at least start in on the view. Okay, so right now it's just TBD. Excuse me. But I think it's going to be more like this. Well, that's the sort order thing. I don't think I care about that, but at least I can steal this much. Let's take that and modify it. All right. Okay, so I got the tunings. Well, I don't want library. I want jam log. Okay. And performances. Let's make a jam log with this stuff in it. Okay. And then log.tunings. Section header tune. Well, I think that's going to not apply for the moment. Let's just put some text. TBD. So this is within there. Now I think, yeah, that should be previewable at this point. Oh, except it's not even going to build. Miss a couple others. All right, and then I was assuming I would run through the performances, but it's actually the songs I've still got to run through. So I'm going to have to find out the songs and then dig up any performances that match that. So, well, that'll be interesting. All right, and I should just get a section header for DAD because that's the only section. I don't know what you do. Actually, it's tuning might not be the right thing. I think it's actually key that we care about. I mean, it's I don't know. It's a little tricky for the mountain dulcimer. I mean, if you're jamming in a group, you're in D tunes at some point, and if you're in a dulcimer group, odds are they're DAD these days. Okay, it's most common tuning. If you're a hammer dulcimer, you're just playing it in D, a song that's in D. You don't care. You have chromatic notes. If you're a guitar, same thing. You got chromatic. So you can play any key. You can throw a capo on it if you want or whatever. But the dulcimer, like if you're doing it in a jam like I am, we're playing G tunes basically because we're in DGD, say. I want to know the tuning more than I want to know the tuning is more important to me than the key at that point, even though they're probably in G. But maybe that doesn't matter. You can play mostly in any key independent of the tuning. Well, no, because you have that the dulcimer being mostly diatonic, meaning it's like white keys on a piano. If you're in a key that needs sharp keys or flat keys, you don't really have them per se. I mean, there's kind of workarounds, but the tuning may not support them. So if you're in DAD, you don't have an F and you don't have a B flat, okay, just from the way the dulcimer's laid out. And so you can't play something with a B flat in it. But if you're in, say, DGD versus DGG, both those are basically going to play songs in the key of G or a mode that corresponds to G, kind of thing. But as you're playing as a dulcimer player, you care about the tuning because you're not in G per se, you're in DGD. And some songs that work in DGD don't work so well in DGG, so I don't know. But I think I'm clearly wrong on this. I think it's got to be the keys. Okay, so just to be generically useful across. Now, I think we can put the tuning in if we want it, but I think the log needs to know the keys. Okay, so let's do key of A and key of G, key of D mixolydian, and key of A. Okay, sure. I don't care about tunings. Is that true? Let's say it is. There's another factor too that a lot of the old time songs, like the really kind of mountain modally songs, they use what they call gapped scales, and the normal scale is 7 notes, but a gapped scale might only have 4 or 6 or something. It might leave out certain notes, and then that means you have more flexibility from the dulcimer point of view. That because like if I had a song that should have an F in it, but the scale is gapped in a way that it doesn't use any Fs, or if I'm in a key that should have an F, but the song is gapped and doesn't use Fs, I can still play it in that tuning even though it's not really in that key per se. All right, well, let's go back to this. I want log.keys. I want them in order, so A. Oh well, let's make this D. Okay, so A, D, D, mixolydian, and G. Okay, and Jamlog has no keys. I don't know that I need the tunings. I think it's so far it's just the view that uses that. Oh, I guess I should fix that test name. Whoops. Did I just crash? I did. Okay. I don't know how badly is. Can you run tests while you're indexing? Let's see. Provisioning. Okay, he's building anyway. Well, while that's running, I did a little searching. There's a site Color Hunt. There are other ones too that provide you palettes of various types. And I've been trying to find a color palette that might work for this app. Yeah, you could shorten Mixolydian to Mixo. That definitely is acceptable in the ABC notation we looked at a while back. But it still won't know how to spell it. I don't know why it doesn't recognize the word anyway. That's perfectly good musical lingo. Okay. Anyway, I found this one that's a little on the dark side. This one's a little more on the bright side. I think that one might work for the light mode. A little more greenish. Another very dark one. Kind of an orange thing. And that's, I guess that's different. They're very close, aren't they? A little different shade of orange. Okay. All right, it's still installing. Ugh. But yeah, I'm thinking I need to borrow one of these. So I like these because some graphic artist has paired them all together as compatible, and their eye is definitely better for that than mine. But and I do have a question in to the publisher, like, do you guys have an actual color palette? Because it would be nice to use that if they've got that in their branding approach. I don't know if they do or not. The website uses a kind of dark orange consistently for highlighting, and so I used that for my accent color, but I think I could be a little more comprehensive and make things a little more just a little less generic looking. All right, this thing's still... Is he totally... There it goes. Okay. I don't think the length will hurt us on Mixolydian, because it's going to be in the section headers. It's not going to be the other way. Now I don't know the like, it might be nice to be within the key and say, here are the modes or the tunings we use within that key. That could be useful. All right. Are you running tests yet? Installing. Boy, hey, pay a price when you start this thing from scratch. Okay. all that to get a failing test. All right, I think I'll take this one out. Goodness. There we go. It's gonna tell me. It's gonna tell me it took 0.001 seconds. Yeah. Okay. Yep. They're empty. Okay, let's take this out. Jamlog view is saying keys. Let's rename this. And let's make this test pass. I don't think our library knows its keys. Is that going to build? No. Okay, well, let's go to library. Okay, well, I think this test is close. And we'll run this with 2 tests that are failing. It's okay. I mean, probably a nicer, well, a more incremental way maybe to say it would be to comment out the first test on Jamlog and get the, dive in a level on the library, but I think we'll just take our chances here. Okay, should be empty. Okay. And it's almost the same thing. Take the songs, map them to their key, and return the sorted result. You would think there'd be a 2-set kind of thing. Even Java has that. Okay, that should now pass both tests. And this should run a little faster this time. Yep. Oh, our library test failed. ADG. Expectation field, A library 37. Why is that expecting AD? Well, that's a little weird. Knows the keys used. Oh. So jam log passed. Library didn't. Okay, weird. All right. I do sort the set. Yeah. No, I left things with the wrong. I left these as tuning D and tuning G, but they're really the keys, and the tunings are not not legit. So it's just a typo in the test, which I seem very prone to lately. I feel like I have had several tests that didn't pass because I did the test wrong. I did just a little mini project to try and test some system by specifying all the tests in advance, and it shocked me how many I messed up. It's like, oh man. All right, let's look at Jamlog view. We'll see if it'll preview that for us. Test completed. All right, and then I think we can see, kind of by analogy, I'm going to have to ask for the key, the library, well, the Jamlog's key, contents for the key. Okay, so I think it's waiting for the preview. I don't know if it's, I mean, it's done with its backlog of tasks, but this is really slow. I'm going to turn that off for a minute and then turn it back on. And I think kind of I don't know, enforcing a design that I already have in mind, right? I'm saying I'm gonna ask the Jamlog to go to the library and ask the library for which songs are in this key, which seems like a fair question for a library. So, well, I'm not going to wait forever for that. So let's get these. So test function knows songs by key. And let's steal a couple of those that have some keys. I'll put 2 in the same key just so we get a little different. All right. This is songs with key. Songs in the key of A. I'll map those to their name. Okay. Song. Okay, so library does not have that yet. I don't know if I can have a function with the same name as this field. Key is key. Cannot call value of non-function type. Oh, okay. Well, that's your problem. All right, let's run that. I don't know why that's all so slow. Okay, so empty versus that. All right, now, in some ways, I guess this one only is going to be by name. So I think I can use this contents thing with the filter. And this is library order.name. Now it might be generalize that further. But I don't think we'll ever look for something without sorting that by name. If you're getting them by key. I haven't seen anybody doing like 2-level deep sections, because this, I could see kind of doing it by tuning. I don't know. I mean, I did restart it, but it still seems to be pretty, well, I mean, it's still catching up on something, but it may come to that yet. Okay, so we've got library knows its songs by key. Contents by key. Okay, and then we want jam log. Well, I think we basically want the same function from him. So I'll even kind of mung up the test. And really, he's delegating. The set is jam log with library. I think that will do it. I think if I restart Xcode, it restarts the simulator too, which took so long last time. Okay, good. This should go to library.songs for key. give this one more chance here. It's just too slow. Well, we haven't put this in yet. Yeah, maybe I'm going to restart Xcode after all. I think you're right. Maybe a clean shutdown will let it do a clean startup. Yeah. I just dread restarting the simulator too. Maybe I should just consciously stop that after this runs. I don't know, this little blinking up in the corner here, I'm not sure what that's about. Excuse me a second. Okay. Yeah, we're approaching 30 seconds since the white screen came up. I don't know if you saw much, Chuck. I did put it in the wood background like you suggested. I'm not sure the white works up there, but okay, we got jam log. All right, D, Dick Mixolydian, D minor, E minor, G. Well, that's the TBD. I changed this now, so let's run this again. I think our preview, oh, that's not preview, that reflects the actual list of first lines. So we're using that for a starting point. I do think they'll need to be different in the long run, but that's okay. Widget renderer default. Let's report this. Okay, well, that's pretty good. D mixolydian, D minor. That's not so good. That uppercasing. Let's see, that's in section. I guess we'll just look that up. There's got to be a style that lets me not uppercase. Well, okay, let's quit the simulator. Let's check this in. Okay, list style. Oh, that might work now. Where this? Okay, that checked in. We're going to quit this. Yeah, I don't know. I've never noticed it on rebooting my phone, but I guess I don't probably stare at my phone that much while it's rebooting. I don't remember seeing it in the simulator either when we had to restart it, but who knows? Okay, so I'll give that a minute. All right, so we got this text case nil. Plain, I think that's spelled wrong. Well, I don't know the difference between text case and text style or list style. Okay. Is that only on this section? Okay, he's caught up. Let's try to run. Yeah, I don't know what list style must do a bunch of things. All right, let's look at that to do. Sort by name within tuning, within key. Well, I want to display dates of performances per song. And this may be one, as I think about using this, if I'm just looking for songs in a certain key, I don't really need to see all those dates. So there may be something else going on there. And I also think maybe there's a separate screen for entering data or a pop-up of some sort. Okay, that's better. Because the capital M means major and lowercase m means minor, so we definitely have to respect those. Okay, cool. Well, that did seem faster than before the reboot. Okay. Yeah, so, Yeah, this view would be quite good for just seeing the names of the songs that you could play. And I don't know, I guess I got to think about how this works use case wise. I mean, I do sometimes care to see, like, I definitely care to see when was the last date we played this. Because if it's, like, it's been this one that's 2 years old, that might make me more inclined to try it, because we haven't played it in a while, and see if I can learn it a little more. And also, I think there's another concept in these songs that isn't really relevant sometimes, but is others. And that's kind of, where did it come from? So this second one, Jake Phelps, this information about him, that's pretty useful. Same here, Lee Presnell. Yeah. Nice session planner. Yeah. It's close. I mean, I'm feeling like every one of these screens that has with songs is going to be kind of relevant to some things, or they all have the basic structure. You know, this one's sorted by key, that one's sorted by tuning, or by name only if you're hammer dulcimer. You know, just different ways to show these songs. Now the first lines one, I feel like it's relatively fixed, but whereas this one is like everything. I mean, it's got to be able to handle songs that aren't in the list, because not everybody plays some of these. I mean, I haven't met any other players who play I Love My Wife as well as anybody. Actually, Hot Corn, Cold Corn, Love My Wife as much as anybody. This one's a kind of common hymn song. I went to see my Susie. I may have heard that. I'll Not Marry in the Good Old Colony Days. Those ones may have been heard by other. I've heard it from other people, but you know, these a couple of them in particular, you know, I learned them from Don Petty and haven't heard them from anybody else. And it's kind of worth knowing where he gets them. Lee Presnell, I think, was a dulcimer maker and had a bunch of good songs too. All right. So, well, we need a mode where we see those dates. I think we need a mode. Well, I'd kind of like it sorted by last date sometimes. I'd kind of like it sorted by date count to kind of see which ones are the most common ones. So we played this one, you know, I don't know, 12 times, and this one only twice. You know, this one is pretty much a common tune for us. Half the time it's because I call it, but I like that song. Do I want to sort this? So I don't know. I'm sorting here its name. It would kind of be nice to see the popularity, the count, which is the count, the last, and it might be interesting to sort them by popularity as well as see the popularity. But there are times I want to know all those dates. Although, you know, I don't know. I feel like I do a lot more writing of dates than I do reading of dates. Right. Well, maybe we should show the last date. Would that be enough? And honestly, they each should probably be a link to a more full screen. Okay, so this fits nicely with that. All right, let's put that last date in. I think that's interesting and not visible yet. Number of times it's been played, months since last played. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think we could say showing the last date played is interesting. I mean, we've got the key. I guess if there's a tuning, like I could see saying the name, the key, the tuning, and the last date. So let's make that show up on our list, because that will build in that performance of stuff. We haven't referenced that yet. And at least I can get the most recent, the most recent one. Okay, so, jam log. Let's let's pull this one out. So I'm going to make another struct that's the jam log song. All right, and then he should take a song, var body of some view, return song.name, text. That sort of jam log song. Now this is, let's see if, a view. Let's see if we can get this to, we haven't tried this since we restarted. Yeah, second line. Yeah, although I do like the cleanliness of this, and most of the songs can fit the information in after that. Because like this list is relatively short, 15 songs. I mean, I know for sure my teacher knows hundreds, literally. You know, I mean, I've got, well, I don't know, do I have that up? Okay. Some of these are short, 3, 2. This one has a couple pages. EAD has some very nice songs you don't hear everywhere. This one, he loves playing in G. We have a fair bit of those. Phrygians are relatively rare. Again, relatively rare. This one has a few. I mean, I don't know. I've got 150 is probably what I have here with these 150. Yeah, I will have to create a VStack in that class I extracted, I think. I just want to see the preview run so I can do this stuff interactively. Once it gets going, it seems okay. But, man, I get sick of waiting for Xcode. But a new computer is not in my near future, unfortunately. All right, so now let's go ahead and do that. Well, actually, I don't think I want to do that just yet. I'm going to try it this way first and see how I like it. Song.name. Okay, that's a step forward. Let's run that. Bouncing between them is the stupid part. All right, I really want to ask the log. About the performances. Yeah, right. Yeah, some of these won't have room. I think it will wrap, and I think that's okay. All right. So let's ask. I think we're going to have to get the jam, the log as well. Just to get you're right. I want that in. I don't think it is the easy way. Tight, formatted. Date done omitted times. I don't know if those were bold, if that would be an improvement, but it's worth running it. Yeah, so it wraps on a long title, which is good because some of the titles are long. Yeah, I think that'll work okay. I'm debating if I need these bold. Let me try it. Maybe I need spacing too. Nope. Okay. And run that. Yeah, I think the reboot helped a lot. Yeah, 3 seconds come up instead of a minute. Oh, interesting. That's actually okay. I don't know if I put spacing here, what that would do. Doesn't do anything. That's really kind of weird, isn't it? Oh, I guess it's not. Is there a way to put inline bold now? Because formatting them is totally separate things. Yeah, do I get marked down or something? Yeah. Let's go back. Well, I'm a little puzzled because I want. I mean, there are times I want this. Well, actually, like in my top level view, I would really like to treat these as just as if they were giant characters, and then they just wrap around whenever it needs to. On a tiny phone, it'll probably show it like this. On a big phone, like at least large-ish phone, it'll put 2 per line. Maybe it can fit 3 on one of those giant ones. All right, do the right thing. Is the verbatim killing me? Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's what I want. I wanted to treat the elements as being of their size and wrap. Okay. That is all right. Okay, so we've got display log with tuning and last performance date. All right, let's refactor this a little. Okay. And then in our tests, I have fallen down on using SUT again. Limited the H stack. Okay, we'll take a look at that too. Okay, I don't think that's going to help. HTAC, VStack, JSON, Geometry Reader. Okay, I guess I need the more. I may have to use this grid. It's not going to be a huge list. Alignment guides are a little tricky. Yeah, I don't think that's helping anything. No. Okay. All right. Those. Okay. Test completed. Good. All right. So we extract jam log song to file. Rename to set in tests. Okay, what we haven't done is we haven't made our performance stuff right. We just gm log just says the date of the last performance, and that's that. Okay, so and I also think this is really optional, so we'll have to deal with that too. All right, so display dates. Including songs without dates. Okay. All right. So jam log has last performance. Let's get a test in. This one will help. I have to make our real dates now. Ugh. Time interval since 1970. Isn't there a normal date thing? Always a pain. How do you create a date? Before or after 2001 reference date? I thought it was 1970. Yeah, this is the obnoxious way. Or date formatter. Ugh. Set date object this way. Ugh. Creating a date is not cheap. Okay. Oh, here we go. Just paste this so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. Date. Oh, there must be other strategies. Wait. Well, let's just put throws. But I think he needs a real date. I guess he's not nullable, he just throws. Okay. He's still not happy. Okay. Okay. So create a song. We create 3 performances. We include those in the jam log. And then we want to say sut dot last performance of song ID. Well, that should be this one. Let's extract latest date. I don't want to get into formatting and reformatting and all that stuff. So, okay. That should fail. Oh. We didn't take a break yet, so that we got our failure. Oh, my formatting should adhere to the locale. Okay, we can do that. All right. Let's take that break. 3 or 4 minutes. We'll come back, fix the test, and then fix the code. All right. Let's try. See if I'm just closer to ISO 8601. I guess if it passes that line, we'll know it worked. I feel like some of this should be able to be optional, but I don't know why it has to rebuild 33 classes to fix one line in one test. No. Okay, let's do date. Time. And we'll see if we have to have a time in there. Now our test should still fail, but it shouldn't throw an exception. Okay, we got today instead of the 402, 4224. Yeah, that's the date we should get. Okay. All right. So, well, again, we're going to ask Jamlog. He's going to talk to performances. Oh, which isn't a thing. Okay. Vaser 222, welcome. So I'm going to start with this, but I think we need a class eventually. It's almost always you end up wrapping collections because we got operations on them usually. Okay, so what we're trying to do is get the last date from there for song ID. So let's take performances, and then we want to filter where $0 dot song dot ID equals song ID. Okay. Can I convert an instruction of performance to date? Well, yeah, we're not done yet. Okay, so that should give me the performances. Well, dot max is kind of I have UUID. $0 is a, oh, right. This is a, I think his performance is song, it really should be song ID. Okay, and then we're getting the one with the maximum date. Well, no, that's a bizarre. Well, max based on which date is the oldest or newest. Okay, let's see what that does. The distant past thing, that's a way to get around the nullability, and I think we don't care. Song date. Yeah, you're supposed to do that when I asked you to rename. Okay, that should Well, no, it's going to blow up because dates don't exist. Or they're all going to be distant past, I guess. Which is better than it could be, but we don't have a way to, in the UI, to produce performances, so it's not unexpected. iPhone 16 Pro, where are you? Yeah, let's get that blinky thing again. Okay. So what I see with this is Jamlog is working hard to snoop around in performance, which is not really right. It should be the performance's job to do that stuff. Okay, I think this also needs to be optional, and that if there is no date recorded for this song, then we just leave it off. We don't want to hear about, 2525 BC or whatever it's going to come up with. Okay. Still launching. It's running the tests in this one and the code in this one. I don't know why. I don't know. They've made some weird choices, I guess, to me. But like, I would just soon if it's got to run the app for the testing, I would rather just build the app and then ran the testing out of it. And then if I ran the app by itself, it should just run the same app. It's kind of weird to me. Okay. Oh, so we got the year 1. Okay. 12/31 on the year 1. You would think 12/30 would be an earlier date, but okay. Yeah, so it's all defaulted to that on the real thing. So our test passes, but I think the real thing is we're missing a test. Returned null for last performance of unperformed song. Okay, so we'll take out all the performances. Whoops, that was a little too much. Latest date. Well, we don't need latest date, and we don't need performances. That's an array of performance. This should be nil. Okay, this should fail. Nil or never. Well, I think that's up to the UI. I think it could just be blank in the UI. It just wouldn't mention it if it doesn't know it. Okay. Jamlog. So let's let most recent equal this. Okay. If most recent equals nil, return nil. Otherwise, return Most recent date. Okay, I could probably, let's try it this way. Most recent equals nil. Turn nil, otherwise. Oh, why are you not complaining? Thank you. Yeah, that's true. What's the matter? Cannot find. Oh, I need one more. Okay. Well, I have to. Let's see. I'd have to do this, right? So I've got the last performance log dot formatted. Well, I still have to get it into a string. Okay, this gives me the optional date. Well, I don't know the right way to do this. It's slightly silly. Because the formatted, okay, he could be nil at this point. But I don't want a date for him. I need a blank string. Yeah, I think this actually is just as good. Barring. Cannot infer omitted. Oh, is this is a string? Okay. String or string optional? Yeah, string optional. Okay. Is that gonna work? Why are you not inferring those things? Oh, I don't need them, right? It's not an optional string. Ugh. I don't know. I think that's just as easy at this point. It's too hard to get it out of the middle of the string. Well, what's the other one look like? Is that it? Well, no. I don't think that works. Okay. I think I can just do that. If date is nil, empty string, otherwise return a date. Put in brackets and dashed and stuff. And then should have space. Okay, let's run this. And now they'll come up with empties. Oh, I did fail a test. Yeah, I mean, it seems like it should be useful in this, but I guess, I don't know. I think because I'm trying to wrap this date in the middle of another string, that the whole string will be defined, but it could still blow up, kind of thing. These should come up with all empty, no dates listed. Yeah, okay, because we don't have them in things yet. But the test should pass, and I think I neglected to run it after we did this change. No, I think I can still write that better. Max. I think this is this dot date. So it'll run through that chain, and if it if it finds a nil here, if there aren't any performances, it will return nil, otherwise date, I think. Okay, so now I can just return this. All right. Okay, so that should be okay. Now we need a performance with a date. And I think I'm gonna let's hard code some in there in the preview anyway. Preview performances. Okay. Can I assign an id? Yeah, that's too painful. Let's make... Can I reference library? Let's take the first. And how do we create that date? Oh, I can't do a try. Ugh. Oh, well, let's just use date. And I would say remarks should default to an empty string. Run for self available. Ugh. Ugh. Okay. we going to get that ID? Was it 864448? I can't remember. It's kind of ridiculous. And just make sure that doesn't overlap with one of ours. Okay. Circular reference show. Oh. Okay. Too painful. There we go. Okay, so the one that has it gets the entry. Where did alpha come from? Oh, it has 2 songs. Okay. Good. All right. And I really just add a date to a preview item for jam log view. Okay, we've done that. All right, enter songs by tuning on date, quick entry, comments at song or date level, sort by popularity, sort by last played. I don't know if I need to sort by last played. I think that's okay as is. Edit song names, autocomplete, default date. Okay, I think we're ready to start entering. Should songs with no dates be first or last? I don't think they should. If you were sorting by date played, I would probably sort it most recent to oldest, followed by the blanks. Those songs have not yet been played. They're not exactly upcoming, right? They're just songs that we know exist, but we haven't played them. We haven't recorded them, or haven't logged playing them, put it that way. All right, but I think we can start on an entry box. I'm not sure how well, I guess we could just put a little plus sign in the corner like we would normally. So I'm thinking a little plus sign here that would say enter a new date for something. Yeah, let's try something like that. All right. I think we've got 15 minutes. I think we'll just start with a jam entry view, watching it through the preview. Okay, so let's make one. New empty file. Jam entry. Which should be jam entry view. Okay. Sure. Why aren't we getting a canvas? Oh, I don't have a preview. Yeah. Okay. And then what we want is we're going to use it as a pop-up, but we want a little form. I'm terrible. Well, I should say I forget how forms build. But I guess there's a text field for the first one, right? So text field, title key, and text. This is the name. Text is name. I guess he just starts empty. Now, there's a way to do these. Yeah, I don't know if we want... That gets a... Oh, that's pretty good. Let's take the date off it. Do we need a field for the name? Yeah, so, I mean, honestly, this field should be auto-completed, So we're entering a song, and it might exist and it might not. Okay, can they use... Yes, definitely. We played a song last night called Sing Song Kitty with crazy lyrics that I've never heard before. And, I'm going to add it, and same thing on the jam list, like a jam list of, say, 50 or 100 songs. I mean, I guarantee my Wednesday jam will find a song that's not on it. I don't know. The problem is, even though I moved a year ago, like finding everything in its place is tough. And then we're in the middle of We have this weird sort of mudroom kind of thing that we're remodeling because they forgot to insulate it. And everything in there is now in my office along with some other stuff. So it's impossible to find things like this sometimes. Maybe it's just in the living room. I'm not sure, but I'm a little too buried. Hopefully it doesn't look quite as bad as it for you as it does for me. But, you know, the two most popular jam books have, you know, somewhere around 50, 75 songs. And, you know, the actual jams you play in will overlap that substantially, but not completely. All right, so date picker without a time. It's probably just a style thing. Oh no. Displayed components. Yeah. Okay, so that defaults to today, which is good. And if it was last night, I can certainly change it. That's good. All right, what else do we need? I guess the only other thing is remarks, right? Performance has remarks. Okay. And most of the time, those are not there. Okay. So that's another text field. $. Yeah, so now there's a way to show, is it a form style? Yeah, let's go find the form styles. Columns grouped. Showing a line column of labels next to a label. Okay, that sounds good. Sounds good, but it is not good. Grouped. That doesn't sound good. That's my two choices. A non-scrolling form with a trailing aligned column of labels. Yeah. Labeled content. Yeah. That still doesn't quite... Form text and controls neatly. Take any view. Where is this? Okay, well, let's try it. Text should conform to string protocol. It's always a bad sign when they set up the project. It's kind of funny. Date's the one that's got that label on there. Oh, labeled context. Okay, I'm doing it backwards. Labeled content with the body and then the label after. Boy, that sounds awkward. Okay. The weird thing to me is, like, if I go to the total text field, that the title of it is remarks. I don't know. What's he doing with that? I thought that was the name of the field. Oh, so I don't need that labeled content. I just had to put it in text colon, maybe prompt colon, and text. form, text field, text colon, prompt colon, form, text field, text colon, that, prompt, that, and body. I don't know what the difference there is. Okay, I'll go back to the labeled content. Okay, can I say prompt in here? No, I think that's better for now. Rather than the name just being part of it. Okay. Data's right aligned. Yeah, it's all kind of weird, isn't it? No, this is not. Well, maybe this does deserve a prompt. Name of song or tune. I should say slash goes to or. Now we're over time. The place, it's a little funny to me, like somehow you should be able to enter the tuning or notes on the song. I don't know. We'll have to think about that. But this gives us something. At least we can create a performance and capture the stuff on it. We'll have to work on how do you save it or whatever. But I think this is a start. All right. Once we have that, I think we can go on to. Well, we need to resolve the comments at the song level, and also kind of the tuning. I don't know. My example, like sometimes you have a new tuning for a performance. That's not really a note. I guess it could be. It could be treated as a remark. Edit song names. Yeah. Okay. So, all right. Well, thanks for joining today. We will be back next week. I got to pay attention to the holidays. Things get crazy here, but I plan to be back Monday, 2 to 4:30 Eastern Time or 7 to 9:30 p.m. UTC, and we will continue on the jam log here. All right. Well, have a good weekend. Thanks. Bye-bye.